Kyrie Irving says he is not pleased about how he's been treated after refusing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. Apparently, the guy had to miss out on the deal of a lifetime as a result of this. What exactly happened though? And why is he so against getting vaccinated? Stick around because we're about to find out. First off, he lost a $100 million deal. The Brooklyn Nets player claimed that he lost millions of dollars and ended up being the target of an unfair taboo after COVID restrictions prevented him from playing in home games for the majority of the season. He talked about it on his team's media day too, his exact words being, "I gave up 4 years, $100-something million, deciding to be unvaccinated." The Nets star said that because of his contract, he found himself in a tough spot where he felt like his place on the Nets and the entire NBA was under threat because of his decision to stay unvaccinated. He also said that his refusal to get vaccinated actually placed a stigma on him this offseason that severely restricted his options throughout the league. He talked about it, saying, "I didn't appreciate how me being unvaccinated all of a sudden came to be a stigma within my career that I don't want to play." Irving joined his team in only 29 games last season and was missing from the team for long stretches of time as the Nets struggled down the last stretch. After the season wrapped up, it was really vague whether or not Irving would come back to Brooklyn. Coming up, what lies in store for Irving? After a lot of time went by with only rumblings, he went on for his player option for the 2022-23 season. But Irving has not created any traction that would lead to a long-term contract, which is really odd for a player with his credentials. 3-time All-NBA and 7-time All-Star. He revealed that he had to deal with the harsh circumstance of losing his job over this decision. He was handling a lot of emotions while trying to secure his future for himself and his family ultimately. Many choices had to be made, but he knew that ultimately things would work out for him. It's a controversial issue that has divided everyone on the internet and in real life. Is it really fair to discriminate against someone over their personal choices about what they put in their body? No, but a strong case can be made for it after spending 2 years in a pandemic. Irving now returns once more to the Nets for another season, alongside fellow star Kevin Durant, who requested a trade before withdrawing the request. Next up, he's really against the COVID vaccine. Irving is either in the headlines for his playing skills or for something controversial he said in public. Several times it was also for brutally slamming COVID-19 mandates. He called them a historic violation of human rights. The statement came after the news of New York City taking away its vaccine requirement for employees of private businesses. The mayor, Eric Adams, announced recently that private businesses are allowed to come up with their own rules, but city employees still have to have some proof of a COVID-19 vaccination, and this ruling has no end date in sight, even though Irving, who, as we mentioned, was on the sidelines for most of the Nets' home games last NBA season because of this, has been cleared ever since Adams took away the mandate for performers and athletes all the way back in March. But he's apparently still making noise and talking about it for the sake of others. After the update on COVID mandates was announced, the NBA star tweeted that if he could play in matches while being unvaccinated, that should be the norm for all. He continued and said that he felt making the vaccine mandatory was actually bad enough to count as one of the worst human rights violations of all time. Being against mandatory vaccinations is one thing, but to put something that's supposed to save lives in the same category as slavery and the Holocaust, that's definitely taking it too far. Now, should Kyrie be taken seriously at all? There were also those retirement rumors that surrounded Irving last year, with some saying that he might forever leave the game as a result of being so fed up with the vaccine mandates. He quickly shut these rumors down on Instagram Live, telling the onlookers to open their eyes and to actually pay attention to what's happening out in the real world. He pointed out that there are even people who are being fired because of these mandates. The Brooklyn Nets organization surprisingly sided with Irving, claiming that they totally respect his personal right to choose for or against the vaccine. Should this guy be taken seriously at all, though? Irving also doesn't believe dinosaurs ever existed, and he also recently shared an Alex Jones video in which the conspiracy theorist was discussing a secret societies and the New World Order. The tweet got over 40,000 likes and has been met with both criticism and support. Many have thanked Irving for having the courage to speak up and echoed his sentiments, agreeing that the mandates are indeed a crime against humanity. Others weren't so supportive and felt that Irving was wrong to refer to this as enforcement. They pointed out that they were only having some privileges taken away. One was actually putting a gun to anyone's head and forcing them to get vaccinated. Let's take a look at other athletes who chose not to get vaccinated. This reminds us of 2 other star athletes who chose not to get vaccinated and stuck to it even when they had to miss out on opportunities and lose money as a result. Novak Djokovic, the tennis legend, wasn't wasn't allowed to compete in the US Open. But now that the world is slowly moving away from the pandemic, he was allowed to compete. Hopefully, the same courtesy will be extended to Kyrie. The NBA legend is not the only professional athlete to publicly voice their opinion against COVID-related restrictions and mandates. NFL quarterback Aaron Rodgers was also in the headlines last year when he came out and said he decided not to get vaccinated. And to this day, he is standing by that choice despite public backlash. He made an appearance on the Club Random with Bill Maher podcast earlier this month, where the Green Bay Packers star gave his 2 cents on government health mandates. He had a similar standpoint as Irving, also saying that he doesn't think the government should have any say in what people put in their bodies. He had to cough up a $14,650 fine by the NFL just a year ago for flouting COVID-19 protocols. But hey, you have to admit one thing, these guys have an insanely strong, albeit expensive, moral compass. Other related news. First off, Kim Mulkey refuses to comment on Brittany Griner. Women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey refuses to give any comment on Brittany Griner's circumstances when questioned by reporters. Going into her second season acting as a coach for the Tigers, who are having their first preseason practice this coming Monday, the Daily Advertiser asked Mulkey to state her thoughts on Griner, who is being detained as a prisoner in a Russian prison on drug charges. She refused to share her thoughts. It's pretty public knowledge by now that the relationship between these two hasn't been great since 2013, the year when Griner's time at the school was wrapping up. Griner, who is very open about her sexuality, stated that even though Mulkey wasn't the one to blame, she really felt discouraged to reveal her sexuality while at Baylor. Next up, Boston Celtics coach was suspended. This guy was slammed with a suspension and a scandal after making the time-old mistake of having an affair with a female member of the team staff. It's common knowledge that in a professional company, dating someone of a different rank without informing HR is a huge no-no. The woman revealed that Udoka, head coach of the Celtics, had made multiple unwanted comments that led to this review taking place. The team then suspended him. He's going to be replaced by assistant coach Joe Mazzella. We can't say anything with certainty about his future. The team decided that the choice for that would be made soon. He did, however, publicly apologize to the media for his behavior. Finally, the Suns owner isn't the nicest guy. Just this month, the NBA made a decision to suspend yet another person, and that person was Robert Sarver, the owner of the Suns. They had no other choice after an investigation exposed Sarver to be a harasser, racist, and a misogynist. He was also slammed with a $10 million fine, which is the largest fine in all of NBA history. His suspension will go on for a year, and he's also been banned from attending all NBA and WNBA buildings. The lawyers found that he'd used the N-word over 5 times in public. Besides that, he wasn't fair to his female employees. He was known for commenting on their physical appearance too, and would make them feel uncomfortable. They also discovered that he was horrible to his employees and had made many of them even cry. Fans were disappointed to learn this, but were also glad action was being taken. Many believe that he should be banned for life. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Kyrie is being a bit extra? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next video.